Last time on The Empire's Edge.
And you see that it is what looks like the inside of a geode, a massive, massive amethyst geode.
So this is very strongly magical.
You recognize, too, that without like the proper practice or control, you think that this system, in essence, could be overloaded.
Well, I could actually transform myself
into a rat. Yeah, you told us.
Into a deer.
Oh.
I could run back to town and check to see if there's how they're doing and if the bluebirds are back.
Yeah, and all their hunters are dead, so you're not in any danger. Too soon?
You spend the night, and there is no problem, and your alarm never goes off.
Oh no, we overslept.
The alarm never went off, but I set the alarm. One of the bluebirds does come, like flies right up to you and lands on the railing to the porch of the house you're staying in. Trust yourself, and what Ludmilla taught you, the bluebirds are always near.
I want to take this time that Zellen's running back to town. I'm going to get some of my map-making supplies out and actually create like a schematic for if we were going to rebuild these saddles later.
Change back into a deer to run back to my friends.
Okay, and
We hear the clip-clops of hooved feet on stone walls.
you probably would, yeah. And
Stone walls.
Stone walls, yeah. Where were you, young lady? We were worried sick.
Getting messages from the bluebirds.
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't.
It is definite confirmation that what we're doing is waking up magic.
Picking back up on that track, I'll see if I can figure out a direction that they may have continued moving.
Boris, you hear what's tantamount to a hum. Zelen goes, look, it's the lizard, like that. And you two are aware of it, but it's nose toward you, but it is not moving. They're actually like a stinger-like thing, like a barb, is still stuck into, not all of, but most of these wounds.
Well, no reason to back down now, though.
You're all, at this point, hearing this vibration. You are experiencing the same thought that you had when you guys were in that other amethyst chamber. If you guys had concentrated for too long, it'd be what like tantamount to an explosion. It seems as though there is an opening above here that leads to the outside again. You're getting close to that.
Well, and a few thousand churning wings will create a nice breeze.
You smell fresh air. You get to the top of the stairs, you round that last corner, and you can see you've entered into another one of those geode rooms. It's just as large as the one that was down below, full of amethyst everywhere, but contained in that, you see it's as though you've stepped into the inside of a wasp nest. Through it, different channels that are in it, you can see that there's fissures in the geode itself. It's cracked through, but this thing is teeming with very angry-looking hornets. Zelen, when you got into the top, that energy you were feeling that was building and building, go ahead and make an Arcana check about what's happening with that.
19.
With that 19 check, you realize that it's as though this place is supposed to be communicating energy in some capacity. You don't know what that is. And for some reason, these hornets being in here, the beating of their wings, just the life of themselves, it's adding to the energy. It's building, it's been building. That's been the buzzing, not just their wings. It's the actual energy of this place. And with that 19 check, you believe that it couldn't hold more energy. You really think the whole thing is about to explode.
It's gonna blow. It's gonna explode.
Yeah,
We gotta get out of here. Get
Yeah.
out of here. Get out.
All right, so, but they're also aware of all of you. Let's go ahead and roll a nits right now.
While we're doing that, how are we arranged in the room? I'd picture that once I saw wasps, I'd stop. So maybe I'm like, 2 or 3 feet into the room, then Jacob's behind me and Zelen's at the rear.
Yeah, I was even picturing it. You were just still in the doorway. If you picture
Okay,
yourself
yeah,
even further through,
No.
it's like your foot's on the very top, what would be the landing.
I am happy to be in the doorway.
Yeah.
and then you just see Zelen and my heads like pop out around him on either side.
Either side,
And,
yeah.
and duck back. Thank you.
Yeah, really. Very tough and like
Slowly pull,
Yeah,
pull the bow and arrow up and just kind of...
Yeah, right.
shoot there.
Hold at the bottom like it's the boomerang.
It's tough to tell how many of these wasps are actually in this chamber. You can tell the air. I think it was Jacob before was smelling fresh air coming from here. There are fissures and cracks in it as though there are spaces to go to the outside. But the light coming in doesn't seem as though they're large enough for these wasps to get back out through it. You can see easily a dozen of them that are in the section of this that's close to the top of the stairs. But by the vibration of it, the buzz of all this, there might be 100 of them in this whole space. They're just packed up inside here. All right, let's see who's where. So
I'm at 18.
so Boris at 18, got it.
14 for me.
Jacob.
7.
Zelen, get down to the control room. See if you can shut this off.
I'm going.
All right, so
Yeah, right.
counting that down, the Boris, you have the first action. You just called that out.
Okay.
What are you doing in a physical way?
I am using my bonus action to cast Thunderous Smite,
Okay.
and then as my action, I am holding around for one of them to move within melee range.
Okay, yeah, you can tell by their own body posturing. You can tell they're all about
Not going to be long.
Yeah, it's not going to be a long time. And it might not even be that they're actually just going to fly over to you. It might be just like a quick crawl on the wall because the place
Yeah,
is so
sure,
filled with
however
it
they maneuver.
being just this way. So that's at 18, holding around. Jacob, you're at 14?
Drawing an arrow and firing at whichever one looks like it's moving in our direction.
Okay,
or
cool.
About to.
Twist it up.
Ooh, unnatural 20.
Nice. Go ahead, you hit it.
Is this one by any chance below its hit point maximum?
No, it's not. It actually seems fresh and clean.
Ooh, max
Certain-
damage though for
Woohoo!
12 points of damage.
Excellent. It is actually killed. That one just goes thunk and drops.
Now it's below its hit point
No,
maximum.
Yeah, right.
That's well below.
All the way
total.
below.
Yeah, that one had 11 hit points. It
Ha.
was like zook.
Any
and
chance somebody else took a 1 from that?
Yeah, right. Arrow goes through it.
went
And like,
through. It's like, Steve was talking to Jill, and all of a sudden an arrow went right through him, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?"
and as my move action, I'll prep to, if Zelen gets out of my way, I will go down the stairs with her, or at least start to backtrack that way to give Boris a place to maneuver backwards into.
Gotcha. And then Zelen at 7. Go ahead.
I turn and run. I have one hand on the wall to steady myself so I can go as fast as I can, and I am running down the stairs and yelling, "Run! Get down the stairs!"
Okay, 6, 5, and then at 5, the group of wasps that are nearest to the top of the doorway, minus poor Steve, come flying toward the opening in the doorway. Boris,
That's what he gets
they're
for being
engaging
weak.
with you. You've been
Yeah,
holding
right.
around. How does it work in 5e when you're holding around? Is it who goes first?
You when you're holding around, you actually say that you're doing a specific thing that is triggered by a specific thing,
Yeah,
and that just means when that
and
thing
so
happens,
you get to go.
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah, it went into your area, went into your against your square. Boris, yeah, roll that to hit.
9.
9 misses.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. It was a nice brandish, though.
Yeah,
but one is
looked
attacking you.
impressive.
It looks like, sizing this up, it looks like only one of these wasps could come through this stairwell at a time.
That's good to know.
But they're like bunching up to come down into that direction.
Yeah, kind of forming a knot.
Right. But
I've got a 20 armor class thanks to Shield of Faith.
nice.
Or
20.
Armor of Faith, whichever it is.
I'm going to roll a
It was
natural
shield.
20. I'm sure of it.
Math, not even once.
yeah, right.
I rolled a 19 modified.
Nice.
Yeah. That was close.
Deflected by magic.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Definitely
Uko.
magic and metal.
Yeah, right.
All right. So, and then what are you doing once this happens? Can you disengage on your attack round, or do you have to wait till your
Well,
next round?
I'd need to use my action to disengage.
Okay, so you're
and,
there.
Yeah, I've used my action to miss, apparently.
Yeah. And my prepped action was when Zelen got out of the way, so I'm backing up, not fully, but just getting out of the way. So if he does decide to step back, I'm not.
He has room to
blocking
do
him.
that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, then next round. Boris, you're
Yeah,
first.
I am
I was about to roll
attacking
Noon
the one
EST.
engaged. Yeah, right. Wrong edition.
Wrong edition.
That's better. How's a 23?
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, yeah. So he takes 9 points physical and another 4 thunder. He also needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw.
Okay, coming up.
Well, I guess she, given Wasp. Whatever.
It fails its saving throw, and it's also dead.
Okay, yeah. So it's
that-
pushed back 10 feet.
Pushed back. Is it just the one thing that was hit that's pushed back 10 feet that way?
Yeah, it's just that one that was
Okay.
pushed back.
That's
So
thunder.
is-
That's new. That's not the radiant damage you were doing before.
Yeah.
Now this is a new thing, yeah.
Nice.
So as he does that, is that wasp? One wasp is dropped. That one made an attack on you, and boom, you just hit it, killed it, and threw its body backwards. Others are pushing it.
Yeah, so
to come
before
back around.
things get into melee reach, I'm going to be moving back as far as I can.
Understood.
Starting that
Disengaging?
retreat. Well, there's nothing engaged with. There's nothing in
Oh.
reach.
Sorry, I was trying to
Yeah.
use.
No, yeah.
No, it's the right word.
That's awesome.
Good use of term, but thankfully, no.
Jacob, you're up.
Gotcha. Same things. Because I moved down, I'm going to hold around until they start coming around the corner to take another shot of them.
Okay, so at this point, it looks like they're choked up there at the front. So you could probably gain some distance heading down this.
Do we want to just run? Do we want to take this?
Get moving.
Dash. Then I'll just move all the way down the stairs as fast as I can. Same thing. I'll use a hand to guide myself.
Steady on
to-
that wall. Yeah,
last
we're
thing I'm
not
gonna
going
do
to
is
roll
trip.
dex checks because everyone's dex is high enough that it should just be.
I'm
a
armored.
given.
I'm
You're
just going
coming
to roll.
down.
It's going to be
I know
okay.
how stairs work.
Yeah, it's like, I know where to step, but I'm scared. Zelen.
I'm running.
Running. All right. So then you guys are at this
running,
point
running. In my head.
at the top of the next round. So they're in a position to pursue, but they're just moving up to do that. And Boris, I would imagine top of the round, you're now.
Yeah, I'm moving down.
Yeah. So all three of you, and Boris is just like a round behind Zelen and Jacob. But you guys are going down that spiral, and you can hear that buzzing, like the actual wings buzzing, receding. But go ahead and roll your perceptions to listen. And to see if you can differentiate. Yeah, Jacob definitely.
19.
Yeah, and Boris
Okay,
as well.
Zelen.
And a 16 for Zelen. It's great rolls. That all of you are aware that though the wing beats are less so, you can still hear that vibration that was the energy of this. It's as though it's been amplifying all of that up inside there. And it does sound like it's critical. It never it doesn't pulse or wave. It's just like building to an explosion.
A crescendo.
So you guys are heading down this thing, and for the next, let's see, 1 to 4, 2 more rounds after that. So it's the third round of descent for Zelen and Jacob. You guys are heading down to this thing. Boris, you're around behind them, and the two of you here, because in that moment, Boris says stop, because Boris, as you turn, are in that. 3 of them are coming down this tunnelway. And it looks like, again, only one could get at you at a time.
Sure.
And the other 2 are pressed right behind it.
Yeah, I was mulling over whether or not I'd be saving my action each round to attack if they moved into melee, but then, given explosion, I'd rather get further away.
So, really, it's just, in this case, it's Boris rolling that. Unless Jacob or Zelen, you wanted to hold back and try to shoot an arrow past Boris into what's happening.
I already said that
you want to get out of the range
I already
of the
said that I
explosion.
did a double action, so unless I hear or hear him scream or something, I wouldn't even know that he's back in combat with him.
You will never hear Boris scream. But go
Death
ahead.
before dishonor.
Boris,
Stairs,
go
the
ahead and
final
roll
frontier.
an init. Let's see if they get it that on
Yeah,
you
right.
or you on they.
19.
11. All right, go ahead. You have the you have the round.
Okay. Yeah. Second verse, same as the first. I'm using my bonus action to cast Thunderous Smite again and attacking. Literally second verse, same as the first. Another 9.
Oh my gosh!
It gets its attack on you, and you're aware of something, that it doesn't work the way it should. That as whatever you swing weapon you do, you try to attack this thing, and it rolls a 13 and its attack on you. It doesn't have its stinger.
Oh, weird.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't have a stinger at the end of its abdomen.
Okay, yeah. Thing to talk to the druid about later. I, Boris, have no knowledge of significance. I, Victor, wouldn't it not have guts then? Aren't they all intertwined? If this is actually a bee and not a wasp, we've been kind of fluid with terms.
Yeah, but it's definitely
I could rant.
definitely a wasp. It looks more like the thing's been snapped off. And not so much like its stinger all came out of it the way that a bee would.
So it's just slapping me with its abdomen.
It did. It just went like that and tried to hit you with the thing. But you do recall coming up that there were in the
embedded broken off stingers.
right
Yeah.
in the.
Oh yeah, I guess we
lizard
just kind of
itself.
stepped over that as we were going.
You're just getting to it right about now, I think, and so
And
you're
leaping
you're
over it.
hopping over this thing right now. Roll dex checks for that, the 2 of you.
Somebody uses their action to turn into a deer and just
So that's
vault
that's a
over
Do you
it.
want-
D20
do you wanna give us,
Zelen plus your dex.
Acrobatics or
modifier.
athletics? Would one
I'm
of
sorry.
those-
Yes, I'm sorry. Acrobatics roll.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or athletics, given I think that's the one you've got.
Whoa, natural 20. Can I save
Nice.
that later?
Yeah.
So you'd rather trip over the lizard now?
I climb up the wall and down the other side.
She ran up the wall on one side, very Spider-Man.
Parkour.
So you guys just shot right past this thing. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I rolled a 12.
Yeah, that was good. And then, Boris, are you now moving from that fight or staying in that fight?
Watch out for the lizard. Don't step on it backwards.
I think I will attack first and then try to move after it gets blown back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that'll work. That's a 21 versus armor class.
Yeah, it definitely hits. I'm class of only 12.
Neat. 9 points physical,
Oh, and then
7 thunder, and it needs to make a
Dang.
strength check if it's not just splashed.
it is splashed. That's
Okay.
it. A sword hit, and there's all kinds of bug goo all over the place.
Boom.
Minus the stinger.
Yeah, right. There's no stinger though.
Minus the stinger.
Yeah, and I will take my move action to continue this.
All right, so you're running
Retreating
back down
combat.
there.
He sits
too?
down on the stairs like the kids that wear windsuit pants do, and just goes just all the way down.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
Oh crap! I'm the British at Dunkirk.
so do the acrobatics check to get past the lizard once you're there.
Can I do athletics instead?
What's your argument for athletics instead of?
I run through it.
That it's not me being nimble and graceful; it's me just leaping
All right.
because I've got.
But then he's going to make you roll an acrobatics in order to land on these stairs.
You can shut up. 7.
I like how quiet that was.
Yeah, that would have been a 3 with acrobatics. So I'll still take the argument.
Would you like him to die?
You trip on the lizard
Yeah, I
as you get
gathered.
around there, right? And you hit that sprawling and falling down on the stairs. I think that kind of fall damage is a 1 to 6.
Yeah, 1d6 per 10 feet.
Yeah. But then make an athletics check that you can stop yourself after that.
Are we afforded a perception check to see if we hear?
That's reasonable.
It sounds like a
Go ahead
like
and roll.
a steel drum full of hamburger. A 12 on that second athletics.
Natural 20.
Wow!
So first things first. That's her second natural
Would you
20
stop
on-
stealing my luck?
You take 6 points of damage in the fall.
Okay, whatever.
But then you do stop yourself. You
And that's why I've got 34 hit points.
Yes. And yes, what was your roll?
10.
Jacob? Yeah. So you're aware of that you're just running and you can feel like your pulse beating in your
Did
ears.
I get an additional 10 feet from that distance in addition to the 30 from my
yeah, that would
speed?
make sense.
Sure, yeah. We'll add that to your move.
So now
and
only 20 feet
Zelen,
behind.
you're aware that Boris must have. It just sounds like it was somebody wiping out on these stairs.
Boris, are you up?
Yep.
And you
I mean, that
guys
was a
are
good tactic
continuing
thing.
down. You've run down for
It's almost like that was a plan.
You've run down for 4 more rounds, so it's been a total of 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds.
Yeah, so we're
at the end of
almost
this.
back down?
You're almost back down to the bottom of this thing. And again, Boris, you're aware that the other 2, and then as you perceive it, a third one has again come up, and the one that can get to you is attacking. So let's roll a nits.
Yeah, hopefully I can
You
waste
and
my
that
bad luck
one.
on a nit. Average 12.
20. That's the first big roll I've done when it's come to anything like this. All right, so it's it has a stinger, and it is
Neat.
attacking you. And it rolls a modified 20.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. So okay, the one person at the table was kind of happy with all that, but that was just that one. You take 8 points of damage,
All right.
and you need to make a con saving throw.
Ooh.
That is one of the ones I have proficiencies in.
Okay, good.
Nice, yeah. Modified 20.
Nice. The DC was 11.
Your venom can cram it wherever it traditionally crams
It
things.
says con save or take 3d6 points or half damage. So you're still taking half of the. But that was an
Man.
awesome make on that. 4 points of poison damage. That was actually a very nice save.
Better than 8.
Yeah, you
True.
pull out your EpiPen. Okay, we'll get over that one. And what had we said? It was 8 rounds to the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 rounds to the bottom. So,
Well, it's also his Annette.
Yeah.
and it's Boris, you're up.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to straight it. I'm out of spell slots, so I'm just attacking.
Roger.
Okay, yeah, there we go. That's a 23 versus armor class.
Oh, yeah, my gosh. Yeah, definitely hit.
For 10 points of damage.
It takes the damage, but it is not dead.
Mm-hmm.
So on the following round, Zelen, you are now into the geode control chamber at the bottom. And again, like the one that you've been in before at the other end of the tunnel, versus this middle chamber, there are 3 different trails that go through the crystals themselves to platforms. So not the deepest point, but just in that sphere. Jacob, same thing. You've moved into that area. Boris, you're, I think, going to be 2 rounds behind now.
20. Yeah. Now it'd be 50 feet. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Get into a platform. Breathe deep. Concentrate on calm. Try to calm. Pick a platform. Get into one.
so guess you're doing that, Jacob?
Busy.
Yeah, I do that. I pick a piece of the triangle and I stand there and I think about happy thoughts.
All right. And then your move, Boris.
All right. Wait. It rolled a higher hit than me.
And
I don't think I killed
My
this one.
bad. You're dead. You did not. Yeah. I was thinking from the previous rounds in it. All right. Yeah. It gets its attack in on you.
Curse my honesty.
Rolls a 19 natural. It's definitely
So-
a hit.
No, my armor class is a 20.
Oh, yeah,
19 natural.
19. Yeah.
That natural is a critical bit.
Yeah. It was like a 20.
Unnatural 20 something.
20. It was a
Yeah.
23. Yeah. And you take 3 more points of damage and need to make another con save.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. 7.
And you take 10 points of poison damage on top
Still
of that.
standing.
And right when that happens, there is a massive explosion that comes from up above. Just this, that the two of you, Zell and Jacob, you are thrown to your feet there. Boris, you're dropped down to your knees. Actually, everyone go ahead and make strength checks that you can keep your spot on the either the geo platform or on the stairs. So this is athletics check.
13.
Obviously, something's screwing with my juju. 7.
17.
All right, so you're staying in your spot. You're thrown into the actual crystals. What would you say, a 13
Yeah.
on yours? You're thrown into the crystals.
And the tattered carcass of Boris goes on the opposite wall.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, I'm good at those. Unnatural 20.
Nice. All right, so you avoid taking damage from actually hitting the side of the geode wall.
Thank God.
Boris, where are you?
50 feet from the doorway.
And
as I
hit point
understood.
wise?
Oh, 3.
Wow.
You have 3 hit points left?
Yeah.
Wow, that's been quite the thing down there.
Yeah.
So you failed your save?
I would assume a what I
What
said.
did you see
It's a
roll?
9 or
Yeah.
6, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Yeah. All right, so you take just roll a 2.
Oh, you were
2
so
points.
lucky.
2 points of damage.
This is stressing me out.
And Boris has now entered the room. Oh, for that one, yeah.
Oh.
So that's about as bad as it
I
gets.
immediately draw my bow to aim at the doorway in case any wasps that are still living come out.
Okay, yeah. So
I immediately,
new-
come over to cure wounds.
new and knits, everyone.
New and it's
Aw, that was a good number till it rolled and wasn't.
18.
19.
7.
20. The wasp enters the room, and let me just see.
What are the odds I got my prepped action in first?
7, 8.
Pulling my bow and training it on there as soon as he came in, maybe? Maybe?
No, you were thrown down to the ground.
I was thrown into the wall.
Okay. Okay.
What, did you stick? How often do you bathe?
Actually, I think I rolled my dex throw to not actually stick.
It flies right over Boris.
Thank
Maybe not
you.
perceiving Boris
God.
as any kind of a threat, but it does go straight
Yeah, no,
for,
I don't perceive
straight
me as
for
much of a threat
Jacob
either.
in that. Now I have to determine just its move of 40. Yeah, it can reach you in its move.
I need
so
to roll a
it's gonna
charisma
do
check
its
to
attack at the
kept
end
my
of
mouth
this.
Shut.
Jacob, your armor class.
It is a 16.
And I roll a natural 20.
Holy mother, I'm going to be the last one standing.
Oh, gosh.
Only because I'm still lying down.
I know.
And I'm not as good at the con saving throws as you are.
You take
Yeah.
8 points of physical damage and
I'm
roll your
apparently not
con
that good
saving
at 'em
throw.
either.
That is ouch. All right. And con saving throw. Natural 11 for a 14.
Nice. The DC is 11, so half damage. And for you, that's going to be 6 points of damage of poison.
Ouchies.
Yeah, I rolled higher on that damage for those 3 18s.
Yeah. Still, that was about half my hit points.
And that was It's a Knit at the top of the round.
I'm at 19.
19, Zelen, you're up.
I'm going to cast Shillelagh and hit it with my Shillelagh.
All right, roll
Can
your
I reach it with my Shillelagh?
Let's see. This
Well, yeah,
Boris.
moving.
Yeah, so you have to move first.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Move and attack, roll it.
19 plus whatever I get for
Spell
attacking.
attack modifier.
Spell attack. Oh, 25.
Yeah.
Definitely hits.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. You actually hit with a 19.
So now what do I do?
She actually realizes she
You
forgot
roll
to
your
cast.
shillelagh damage.
She forgot to cast Shillelagh on her stick. She's actually casting it on a rolled up newspaper.
I carry a fly swatter.
Yeah,
with
she
me.
actually summoned a can of Raid.
10 points of damage.
And that kills it. Yeah, that's the one that Boris had injured before.
Okay,
Nice.
can I immediately run to Boris?
On my action,
No, you're done.
Stand and use lay on hands on myself.
All right, go And how many points do you communicate via Uko to heal you?
Yes. 15.
All right, yes. So you are doing that.
Yeah, so I'm
Jacob.
suddenly feeling great.
Really? Great? Or could use some cure
Better.
wounds? Great.
But
I can
you're-
always use more healing. I'm fine.
Yeah, let's get to Jacob though.
Gotcha.
sorry, Jacob.
I will take my action to heal myself. So I'll do some cure light wounds on myself just to get not halfway through my hit points. And then I'm going to move back over to them and take a perception as a free
Okay, so cast your cure light wounds first.
3 plus 6. So 6 points healed.
Okay, great.
And then I'll listen to see if there's anything coming from that.
Okay,
hallway.
roll that perception to see if you can hear any more of these sorts of things.
Yeah, I think I'm too
natural
busy hearing the
17?
ring in my ears.
Yeah, with your
Unnatural 20.
Yeah, unnatural 20, Jacob, you're aware of a number of things. One, you can still hear what sounds like some small dirt rocks aggregate that is still falling down the stairwell. You don't hear either the buzzing of these wasps like you did before, nor that buzzing that was like the radiant stored up energy of all this.
Mhm.
It sounds like that whole room, or you believe that whole room, the geode at the top of the stairs, exploded. Now, who knows how many of those it took out, but you're not even hearing, like if there were any that survived, it sounds as though none are vacating that chamber coming down the stairwell. You're just hearing, it was like sand and grit and some aggregate falling, but not a
Gotcha.
lot.
So I turn back to Boris and Zelen. It sounds quiet up in the stairwell. I'm feeling a lot better. You guys want me to go up there and just really quickly, I'll check it out and I'll keep on listening if anything's going to come in towards us.
Yeah.
Be safe. So while he's doing that, I am going to pack and light my pipe and see if there's any like pieces of this amethyst that can be retrieved.
Well, do you-
Shards of it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So like however big the pieces would be in case we have use for either them as like
Okay,
lingering magical
let me
items
roll
or
like a percentile at
just as gems.
what might have come down the entire length of the stairwell.
or was shaken free from the one down here.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are 9 fragments, and you're probably not positive whether they came from this geode or they actually blew down the stairs.
Right.
But there are 9 fragments that would be, say, like a half a slice of bread in general
Okay, yeah.
size.
I'll take all 9 of them.
Okay.
Stash them for later.
And Zelen, and so during this, Jacob, you're ascending.
Mhm.
Right. So at a certain point, you pass one of the bodies of a wasp that was killed. You keep going up. Zelen?
Boris, how are you feeling? Do you need some additional curing?
I wouldn't say no to healing.
Okay.
Honestly, though, we've been at this for a while. If things are stable here, it may just be good to kind of set camp,
And
recuperate,
rest.
get spells back, because I'm out of spell slots. I don't know how you guys are for them. Yeah, I think resting and kind of, beyond that, just keeping an eye and an ear on this place so we're sure there's no aftershocks or
Okay.
secondary effects like that.
So I'm going to call up to Jacob and tell him if the lizard is on our side, take a couple hunks of lizard. Maybe we can cook it for dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So roll your perception to what you were able to hear that.
16.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else, other actions while you're down there?
The one that we killed down below does not have a stinger in it anymore, right? We figured that out.
No, it
that
does.
was the
Oh,
one I
it does
killed.
have
It
a
does.
stinger.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over.
I'm
yeah,
aware
the-
because it
the-
stung me.
Oh,
And it
right.
stung me too.
Yeah.
No, the one that I passed on the stairs is the one that didn't.
Didn't. Okay, I'm going to go over and look at that stinger and see if there's could Jacob use it? Could I use it? Could we use the poison
roll
that
your nature
comes
sense.
out of it? 19 plus 3, I think.
You would say yes. That with your knowledge of just the natural animal, Jacob's knowledge of the animal, and Jacob's ability to skin various things, he's no doubt killed rattlesnakes, copperheads, other poisonous things, that he would be aware of like venom sacs and know not just to cut the end off of the thing, but to take a portion of the abdomen with it. So yeah, you're thinking he probably could once he comes back down.
Okay.
Jacob, so further up, you come across the body of another one of them. And when you're up somewhere, getting fairly close to the top again, you think you've passed the 400-foot, 450. You come around the corner. It's a little startling. There is the carcass of the lizard. And just past that, you can see that it's like an amethyst plug. All the shards of amethyst, big pieces of stone, are wedged into the tunnelway, into the stairwell. And it's completely blocked off just above that.
Take a quick moment to just assess like structural integrity kind of thing to make sure like this isn't going to like come loose and then just start avalanching down the stairs here to make sure I'm in a safe place.
Yeah, sure. I would think that'd be like a straight intelligence roll.
Yeah, cool. Well, natural 19 for a 21.
Yeah, it looks fairly strong.
Okay.
It looks as though you'd have to really pull at this stuff to try to get it, and maybe it would avalanche into you, but it seems stable as it is right now.
So I won't touch the wall or get any of the nice, valuable amethyst, but I will take Zellen's request and grab some lizard.
All over the stairs right here, there are shards and pieces of the amethyst.
Oh, okay. Well,
So they're not part of that plug of the large.
amethyst is valuable, or
Very
has,
valuable.
okay. So yeah, I'll chuck some in my bag because who knows, that could come in handy. Grab some meat for dinner, and then also I had the similar idea of looking at the bodies of the wasps. So any of the ones that I found on the way up here, carefully, kind of grabbing those for I don't know what you call that, like reuse later.
Yeah, sure. First things first,
Recycling.
why don't you write down that I rolled a 2d12. You also have 9 pieces of shards of the amethyst, and there are 2 dead wasps in this area that have stingers. They must have been coming down after you guys, and maybe you just stopped at the lizard itself, but were either killed by the explosion or whatever. So you can go ahead and do that, and that would be a nature sense, I would think, that you're cutting this thing that right way. So
I think rather than field dressing, though, I might just take some of my rope and just bring the whole bodies downstairs just so I can do it in a more controlled environment versus doing it in the cramped
I'll just drag
stairwell.
them down? Okay.
Yeah.
And then, you probably take about the next 10 or so minutes
Grab an antenna.
to butcher up
Yeah.
a portion of the steaks from this lizard.
And I come back home with all the bacon that I brought home.
I do
Yeah.
like gator.
So it would probably be a good half an hour later that Jacob comes back down, and he has some red meat that he's saying, well, let's make a fire, and he's also dragging down a couple of these wasps.
So I'd like to examine some of the shards of stone. I know that we've had amethyst act as a healing stone in other places we are. I'd like to examine them and see if any of the shards to me seem to have those similar healing types of properties, or would any of them to me be more valuable that I'd want to keep?
Go ahead and do an Arcana check.
I have no idea. It's a 5.
Yeah, that's right. You have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they're stones.
They're very pretty. Yeah, they look nice. It could be that it could be used as an amplifier. If the whole thing was tantamount to a magical item, the magical item is broken, but these crystals are such superior quality that they could still like hold an energy, maybe if it was a way to recharge it.
You could do a detect magic ritual, or just as a spell slot if we're going to be camping here, and gauge if there's still any lingering magic in this.
That's a great
place.
idea. I'll definitely take that suggestion.
So while she's getting that ritual ready, do you guys intend to stay here in the geo chamber? Or are you going to go to the adjoining kind of like attack
there was-
chamber, or across
Yeah.
the hall into one of the other?
I was about to say there's more of like a complex to this place, right?
Right.
Just like the one at the other end of the
Yeah,
tunnel.
so we'd be setting up probably in what used to be a barracks, or kind of the common space where there's actually some room. And
Was
not
there a
just-
Right.
similar room like in the last place that had that area that led outside that would give a place for a campfire to draft? Because I imagine we want to cook this
I
lizard.
think there was a kitchen, kind of a kitchen place.
There
that
is.
we
As
could-
you're going
Okay.
through it,
Yeah.
and we'll picture Jacob, you taking point on that you go across the main tunnel of, the actual tunnel through the mountain, and then you're into the place where all the smoky quartz should be, that has almost like embryo like lizards trapped in it, and that room is empty. It's just smoky quartz all over the place, shattered. So everything's been released out of this section of the tunnel.
Oh,
Lovely.
wait. That wasn't true before. There were animals trapped in
No,
there.
that was the.
Oh wait, actually, you are right, Zelen. My mistake. That I'm thinking about the description. So, spoiler when you get to the one at the other end. Yeah, but you're right. I did describe this one as still having
Still
their
had
things.
some things in
They
it.
still have the majority of theirs
okay,
in it.
that
Yeah.
scared me.
Yeah, sorry about that. And now there's like 300
I know,
lizards
right.
coming at you guys. My apologies. But there was an adjoining tunnel.
Boris, I haven't screwed with your hit points enough.
You think one was as low as you could go? But when you get across that
No.
into that chamber,
It's
Jacob,
not as low as I can go. It's as low as I want to go.
right. That there's an adjoining hallway to a gallery, and then once you're through that gallery was like a control chamber that opened and closed the gate that would stop carts and whatnot. But then there was another staircase up, and that staircase up, there was barracks and a kitchen area, and then a storeroom, and that one also has a tunnel that looks like it would just like vent and draft air.
Gotcha. So I'll go straight to that area. I'll hope that Boris and Zelen don't decide to come up there because they're going to see what I'm preparing for dinner right next to the wasp bodies that I'm dissecting to get stuff from. So hopefully they don't see those things right next to each other.
But there's definitely stone preparation areas, so you can actually
Yeah.
set stuff on it, not just working on the ground.
I
Isn't
know
leaving part of the venom in part of what makes fugu sashimi so valuable?
I know in
Potentially dangerous and exciting a meal. Right?
Cooking
I know
with
in
toxins.
previous editions there was a taking 20 option. I don't think 5e has the same thing.
Yeah, I don't even
know-
think there's taking 10.
I think they do still have taking 10, but I feel like knowing that I know I have this skill set, that if I just take enough time to do it carefully, do you still want me to make that nature roll to get it done, or do we just want to say if I just take my time to get it done, then I'm able to get a reasonable?
Well, if you take your time, you'll
okay.
be fine with it. Yeah, it's not outside your ability. There's not armor plating holding it in. You get how this thing's
So
then physiology works.
I do that over the course of while I'm prepping the meal. I just go back over there and I'll take the poison out and a jar or something like that in the in this area in this kitchen, or has everything kind of been so old and decrepit that
It's been very gone through for a long time, so it's going to be a very, very small percentage. Do you want high or do you want low?
I'll take low.
All right, rolling percentiles, and rolled a 0-4. As low as it goes. Yeah, you do find that on a shelf up high that there is some stone flatware. There's like plates and bowl and jar looking things.
Awesome,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I got a place to. Hey, you guys get to have your meal on a plate. So, and I'll put my poison into that jar.
So as Zelen and Boris, you come up into this.
No, I'm doing my
You're doing a
ritual.
ritual, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and at the end of that, you're detecting magic on this. There is a latent magic that you believe that would relate to healing, and possibly some other effect that's about, in D&D terms, leveling, being a higher level in a space. But that's so residual to the healing that is most about this.
Okay, so I'm going to take the shards in which I felt the strongest vibration of healing.
Okay, that would be like the fewest chips. Let me just see how many that would be out of. You have just ones that Boris had, I guess? 'Cause-
No, Boris has his, Jacob has his. I was checking I was checking what was left.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So there are 4 shards that you found that seem to retain some element of that healing magic.
Okay, so once I know that, I'm going to gather up those 4 shards, put them in my pack, and walk over to where they are preparing
Okay.
dinner.
So Boris, were you waiting with Zelen in that chamber until you got your feet back, or?
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably sit there and enjoy my pipe while I'm doing that. kinda
Right.
catching my breath a bit, checking my armor, sword, whatnot.
Yeah, you
Good
sc-
berry tobacco. You're getting some hit points
You
back.
you scratch some numbers into the
I'm-
outside of your shield.
Yeah, right. I am all for magic tobacco. That is honestly such a fun way of doing potions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I had the budget for that as a first level
Ah.
character.
All right, so then 12, 13, 14 minutes later, Jacob, you're met by both Zelen and Boris as they come up into this chamber.
Quickly clean off all the wasp guts.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Wait,
and-
what are we eating, Jacob?
And you have Stinger
It's like
and
boiled crab. It's fine.
you have Stinger and Venom Sack that are in 3 different jars, and I'm sorry, 2 different jars, and then the meat's cooking in the stove area on stone plates.
Gotcha. So how much did I get from the? Because I brought 2, and there was the one that they already had downstairs, right?
I mean, the actual stingers.
Yeah, of the like the jars where I was getting all the venom out of. What did I?
Okay, so let's say that there was a total of 6 jars, and there were 4 stone bowls, and there were 6 stone plates.
Gotcha. And how much was I able to get from each of the wasps? Was I able to fill up all of those jars, or how much of those jars were I able to fill?
As
Well,
I understood it, you were extracting the venom gland and the stinger.
Gotcha.
But you
Yeah,
Okay.
haven't,
so
like,
each one has the
rarefied
gland
it
and
into
the
a
Gotcha.
stinger.
So I have
Great.
3 glands and then 3 stingers.
Right.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so you guys rest up, you eat. You realize that this chamber is very much like the last complex at the other end of the tunnel. Are you doing a short rest, long rest, spending the night?
Long rest.
Okay,
I
yeah.
agree.
So let me just roll if there would be any kind of.
Set a watch like you normally do.
Yeah.
And I'll do my. I still have spell slots left, so I'll cast alarm again, just on an area out near the main hallway in case anything larger than a fox.
Okay,
walks in the
gotcha.
area.
So you take people to go down and do that, and No, through the course of the night, if you guys were staggering your watches as you usually do, there is nothing that happens. There's anymore that buzzing that would be either be power building up, nor the wasps themselves, and you don't see any other things that might have occupied this space.
Nice. Yeah.
Nothing comes down the chimney draft area.
Mhm.
Comes like there's no wasp that comes down that or anything else. So,
Wouldn't that suck?
yeah, that,
Yeah.
you
No
bet.
kidding.
All right, so everyone's eaten. You've rested. It's next. Well, it's I can't say next morning. It's probably like 8 hours later. It's pretty much the middle of the night.
Well, we'd probably stick around till we were, feeling kind of good and well rested.
So
it's
when
probably
your internal
early
clock
morning.
is saying it'd be early morning, though, there's no indication, via the light. But you feel like, okay, I feel rested. I feel good. It's time to go. What do you guys do?
It's like, wait, didn't we set our watches last night? We know what time.
So, we've got a lot of tunnel to explore. Do
Yeah,
we
that's-
want to keep going?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I
keep
think
heading on. Yeah.
We've cleared out. Well, not cleared out, but we know what's in this area. I think we can
Yeah.
just keep
Well, we've
moving.
blocked off where anything else could be.
True.
So this portion is cleared. The rest of the Brimroar, less so.
So let's head in that direction.
So we've inflicted giant wasps and giant lizards on this region.
Well,
Are we
let's-
sure we want to live here, or do we just kind of want to like skedaddle for the Corman Empire so we
Now
don't get
that's-
held
That's
responsible?
assuming any of them survived
That's
that
right,
giant
you have no
That's
idea
explosion.
about
right.
the wasp,
Maybe they
yeah.
didn't.
And I'm
So-
thinking, I killed one with just an arrow. I'm thinking, nah, they're weak.
Life finds a way.
He hopes.
And
All right.
honestly, they're weak relatively for us. How are they for first level
All right,
commoners?
so
Yeah.
you guys have some breakfast, whatever your leftover meal was.
Lizard,
Yeah.
boil up the wasps.
You exit to the main tunnel,
Probably not too far
and you're
off a crab.
proceeding down that main tunnel again. What's your walking order?
Me, then
Zelen
the
and
others.
me. Yeah.
All right. So
let's have Zelen in the middle just in case something does come up from behind.
All right. So, and also let me know. So, Boris, what's your passive perception?
I hate that question. My passive perception is that's
And-
persuasion. 12.
Passive persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
And
kind of my innate.
just charismatic standing
Yeah.
here. Jacob, what's yours?
13.
I forget
And
this
Zelen?
one.
It's 10 plus your
perception
wisdom or
mod.
perception bonus. Yeah.
16.
Got it. You guys have had your breakfast. You've put yourselves together. You've geared up, and you head back down to the main tunnel. And once you're on that main tunnel, you can see that nothing has traveled through this area down this way, apparently for a long, long time. And you walk for maybe a good 10 or 15 minutes, moving fairly slowly. But when you're a good 400 feet further down the tunnel, you can see at the edge of your vision that there is a barricade. And this barricade
weird.
isn't like a natural stone, like they built it when they built the tunnel,
Oh,
or a
weird.
big stone rolled into place or something like that. It looks like there was a flood and a giant log jam got pushed into this area. So
Huh.
it doesn't hold a single plane, this barricade, but there's big logs sticking through it, out of it, part of it. Just a jumble of matter. Earth as well. Nothing green growing. There's no
Felled
plants.
trees or just
Weird.
snapped off.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so go ahead and roll
And
that.
how clearly can I see it? Can I tell, is it the way the logs are sticking out? Is it so somebody can climb up the logs? Is that what it looks like to me? Or does it look like just
Yeah,
random?
let's all roll perception rolls to see what we have right here.
And then nature, presumably, when we get closer. To see if it's
18.
natural
16.
man-made. 13.
18, 16, 13, I heard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I specifically was looking at whether they were like felled trees, like there'd be that kind of distinct tapering, or if they were just snapped off.
Yeah, so that thing first, that was the first comment, Boris. At first you can't tell, but then you look a little, like, I'm not saying close, like you got up to it.
Mm-hmm.
You go, gosh, I can tell that was notched out.
Right.
That tree, and that one down over there, those were definitely felled by axes.
So it's
that-
kind of a mix.
So it does seem to be a mix of things that's been snapped off, deadfall, but then stuff there's
Interesting.
also a couple of two. Next perception was, could you climb it? Yeah, honestly, Zelen, you would think you could definitely climb this thing, given the time and finding
And
the
does
right
it
spot
look
to.
like it was, like you said, that there were trees sticking out of it?
Mhm.
Are they stuck out in such a way that it looks like it's designed to act as rudimentary stairs? Does
a
it
ladder?
look like that? Yeah.
Not at even at your perceptive level. It does look like it was made to do that. But coincidentally, making a jam of all these logs, it'd be easy to climb for anything that has 4
Am I
limbs.
close enough that I can see little things like little birds or little animals skittering around in it? Are we close enough yet that
We'd still
I
have the
could-
better part of a mile to go before
Oh,
we're
well,
reaching
never
the
mind,
outside
yeah.
of the cave.
So no, I probably can't see.
Yeah, there's probably still like a good 2,500, 2,200 feet to the end of the tunnel or
Oh
so.
no, I mean on this barricade.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
But no, there's no
Okay.
like tweeting birds and things. Jacob, you had a question too. That was like I thought perceptive based.
Yeah, mine was just taking a look at it. If it looks like it formed naturally, like it was pushed in here by some heavy rainfall or water, or if it looks like it was intentionally built.
Yeah, and what was the roll you made on your was that
Mine was 13
the
for
13?
perception.
It does not look that. You've seen plenty of places where there's been high water, narrow creeks, and it jams up, and there's a certain look to the silt and the way that things are bunched. You think, even though it looks very natural, these pieces have been placed.
So I
right
call that out. I was
here.
like, be on alert. That looks
Yeah.
man-made.
And as Jacob is saying that too, you're suddenly aware of movement high up in this thing. They're not surprised.
There's something
You're not
on it.
surprised. Everybody rolling nits. You see there are large bipedal forms sticking out of 2 different places in this actual barricade.
15.
Okay, Boris at a 15. Zelen, where are you?
4.
Wow. Okay. I thought I was low.
Jacob?
5.
Beat Zelen by 1.
Did you also roll a natural one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And my guys are at 10.
Did you go?
All right,
You're
so-
going first?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this jumble, and again, you could climb up to it if you wanted to, where their feet are, it's probably a good 12 or 15 feet up. There are bugbears, 2 bugbears that are in openings in this tangle and jumble, and they are in a position where it looks like they're going to be throwing something down at all of you.
We know how to
What
deal
a
with them.
quinky dink. I'm throwing something up
Top
at
of the
them.
round, Boris, go ahead and go.
Don't worry. We know how to
am-
deal with them, don't we, Zelen?
I am throwing javelin at leftmost one.
Gotcha.
16 versus armor class.
That hits it exactly. They have a 16 armor class.
Nice. For 8 points of damage.
Okay, it takes the 8.
Oh, God.
And
Wait,
I'll use my move to move closer to the barricade. So
I really hope we didn't make the exact same mistake as the first time because we didn't even get
Okay.
a chance to talk to them.
get in melee.
All right, and then
Well, it looks like they're priming to throw something at
You
us,
said they
too.
look like they're about to throw things at us.
so
Yeah.
at 10,
Thunk,
one of them
javelin.
is
I
throwing a
don't think they're
javelin down.
friendly.
Javelin down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is he just taking the one that got stuck in Tim?
He's throwing a javelin. It's obviously simultaneously. As
Yeah,
you're throwing,
right.
he's throwing it. He throws a javelin down at you, and I got to roll big. This is really tough. have
I
to
guess,
roll
your
so-
shield of faith is kind of worn off at this point because
He doesn't need to know that.
a lot of,
Yeah.
a lot of hours
His
later.
armor class is still like an 18.
Yeah,
I think.
no. My armor class is great, but I like having 20.
Yeah, because these guys already missed their surprise, and that was their big way of doing
Mm.
things. All right. 16 plus 4, unnatural 20. So he hits you, and
As a matter of fact, shield of faith was still going. Didn't matter.
You're right. It just ended.
you take 8 points of damage
Ow.
from his big javelin.
Yeah.
And then the other
Hopefully
one
only has 1.
is attacking Jacob. Jacob, armor class.
16.
And he rolls a 14 modified. I miss you. So javelin, clink off the stone.
I'm loving the irony of the guy in metal armor getting hit and the guy in leather not.
Well, I am a little bit further away.
That
so-
must be it.
Yeah.
Jacob, you're up.
Nice. I fire at the guy who threw something at me.
All right, twist it.
Is he below his hit point maximum?
He is not.
Hey, 26.
about to be.
Nice.
He's about to be.
He's about to be.
Yeah.
That hit, armor class is 16 on these guys.
Yeah. And D8. There it is. So it takes minimum for 5 points of damage.
Okay, but still, 5 points is 5
As
points.
a free action, I think it's a free action. And I'm going to cast my Hunter's
I
Mark
think it's a bonus action.
On
bonus
that
action
on that guy.
on that guy.
Okay, you
Should
got
have
it.
done that. Shouldn't have done that a little bit sooner, but
Understood.
I did it.
And then 4, Zelen.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, which is in a 60. It has a range of 60 foot
Okay.
within a 20-foot cube. Any creature in the area is outlined in light if it fails a dexterity throw, and then there's an advantage to hit them.
Okay, got it. Me roll their saves. You said deck save. And what's the DC?
My spell save DC is 14.
Got it. All right, so here it comes. Failed and failed. So they're both illuminated. What does that give? Is it an advantage to everyone else?
It gives an advantage to everyone to hit them.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that'll work.
next round, Boris, you're up first.
Yeah. Am I at the barricade, or am I going to still need to move to start climbing up to engage in melee?
You are at the barricade.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to start climbing up to engage in melee.
All right. And then at 10, he is throwing javelin down at you.
So that takes my move and my action.
To climb? Yeah,
You move at half your speed at the GM's discretion. So while climbing, swimming, or swimming, each foot of movement costs 1 extra foot.
and anything about, does that assume that your hands have to be empty?
Doesn't say anything like
It's
that.
all your discretion.
Yeah. I think I will ditch shield and climb.
Boris, before you start climbing, I could cast Thunderwave and try to push them off or try to break the barrier.
There's the other one too.
So that was Boris. You are climbing. Go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 15.
Oh, actually, that's really good. I put the DC at 15. I thought that would be a pretty reasonable athletics check to get up there. So,
Yeah, I've got a plus 6.
you're climbing, and you're definitely moving slower. So your normal move is
30.
so you are just getting to where he is.
Sweet. Yeah.
So I guess you'll be able to get an attack at the end of that.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll it.
Attacking with the sword. And that's a 14 natural for a 22.
Hits. The arm class is a 16.
And I think I will Divine Smite while I'm at it. So first, physical sword damage.
Insult, meat injury.
Yeah, right. 10 points physical, and then for the smite, that is 4 points of radiant.
Okay, so he seems very, very hurt by all this. It's definitely had a pretty terrible impact.
advantage? Because remember, they're lit up, so
Oh yeah, why not see if I got a crit?
Yeah, that'd be the difference. That was a good zone.
I did not get a crit.
Okay, so communicated very good damage.
Now I got a
check.
crit. Thank you, David.
He is severely wounded.
Yeah.
Excellent damage. But on their round, he is returning the favor, and he has switched weapon. What do they call that? An incidental movement? What's that in this?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so he is pulling a different weapon. He's not using javelin because you're right there, and he is attacking you. Does it give any kind of a disadvantage that they're lit up, or is it just advantage too?
Just advantage.
Okay, so straight numbers.
Oh, they can't be invisible.
Gotcha. Straight numbers for him, and he rolls +4, 17.
Ooh, hits because I don't have my shield.
Ah,
Ooh.
nice.
Yeah, drawing a new weapon is just part of a move action. Assuming he dropped the previous one, because stowing a weapon is
Yeah.
an actual action.
Ooh, 11 points of damage.
Oh.
Pow, as he hits you. And then the other one is throwing javelin at Jacob.
Again.
You
Again.
almost said Boris.
I almost said Boris, yeah.
Through his friend.
Yeah, I
Read it.
sidestep and
You're
guy
right.
javelins his own buddy.
And rolls, a critical fail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did he drop the javelin
He
then?
critically
he was
failed.
throwing it anyway.
Necessarily.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure it's gone. Yeah.
Regardless, I think it's out of reach.
Yeah, but it glanced off of one of the logs right near him and goes ding and straight down and just hits. All right, Jacob, you're up.
It was
that
that
log
my
was actually a monk, and it just deflects it back into him.
It was a monk log.
was that my quarry that did that too?
Yeah.
So I added laughter just to like just mock him a little bit while it's happening.
I cast vicious mockery.
He takes humiliation damage.
Yeah, so I will fire at him. First one, and then with advantage is 19 to hit.
Hits.
He is below his hit point maximum.
Yes.
My bow already does this damage, and he's marked as my quarry.
Oh.
And you have advantage.
I already did that, yeah. I didn't get a crit, unfortunately. But that is 18 points of damage.
Ah, he is still alive, but barely.
I hate him even more.
Yeah. So actually, it's kind of weird.
Favorite enemy? Bugbear.
Yeah, these guys are both really, really close to the bottom of their hit point abilities.
Let's see if I can push him a bit further.
Zelen, you're up.
Boris, can I dart the one? Can I throw a dart at yours, or do you want to
Throw
kill?
at the other one.
Okay, I'm gonna throw at the other one. I'm gonna throw a dart at the other one.
Roll it.
18 plus 5,
And
23. Roll again just to make
Yeah,
sure.
just to see if you get a
See if you
crit.
get a crit.
And she
Everyone's mic peaked. I didn't scream, but you peaked mine.
So you have thrown 2 darts at 2 bugbears, taking critical hits and killing it each time.
So roll 2 of the damage dice instead of 1.
Did you
and
you
then
just
add your damage
Did you just
modifier.
kill my quarry?
So what's your dice damage?
Sorry, D4.
D4s, yeah.
So 9 points of damage.
And it dies.
That is not fair.
Boris told me to.
It was down to 4 hit
yeah,
points.
because I didn't want to catch that in the back.
It started at 27.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
you know.
Yeah, but it does look as though she killed another bugbear. Top of the round, Boris.
All right, attacking mine. Okay. 18.
Hits.
All right, and max damage, 16 points.
Ooh, yeah, brutal. Apparently you cut him like from crotch to eyeball with that
right?
thing. And
I saw that movie.
yeah, so he only had like 5 hit points left, and that truly opens him up.
Lawful good does not mean lawful nice.
He collapses, and since you're kind of like below his position, you are very covered in gore at this moment.
Yeah, what else is new?
Yeah.
Do you guys like killing things? I bet you had fun killing things. Wouldn't it be nice to have killed something?
Technically, it's
I can kill
morally
things too.
Technically, it's morally reprehensible. I did this as a necessary self-defense.
I look around on the ground for a bug that I can squash.
You find one.
Yes, and I do that.
Boris, can you reach my dart and get it back for me?
Only if you bring up my shield.
Got it.
So dart's like stuck in his teeth. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'll retrieve the dart, then help the 2 of them climb up and over this.
Yeah, and once you get into this,
Barricade.
what you're in, and if you're at the same spot, it's a matter of like if you want to go to the
Are
2
these
points.
bugbears riding giant beavers?
No, but the bugbears themselves, they're in what's tantamount to a tunnel, just like picture a tunnel through like a log jam. It's uneven. You're ducking this way, you're pivoting that way, and when you get to the far side of this, the whole thing's probably
They made
about
a tunnel and a tunnel. Clever.
yeah, it's about 20 feet thick. This barricade.
Wow.
It was a huge
Wow.
undertaking for these people to get
Yeah.
this. I mean, they've jammed all the stuff, and maybe they add to it year after year. But they've left these 2 points where they could get a person to climb up and then through, and then act as a guard.
I
on
wonder
this
what they were
position.
so afraid of. Do you suppose it was just the lizards on the other
Us.
side?
Wasps.
Me. Was it? I mean, oh yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe
maybe,
other
maybe,
folks
the
do.
wasps.
Shetland ponies
Yeah.
would make me pretty nervous.
But when you get to the far side, there is the rudiments of a camp, and it looks like it's only a camp for 2. That these are the 2 guys that have like the horrible job of manning this for however many like days or whatnot. So there are some food provisions that looks a little more like they found some dead animals somewhere and just drugged them back here, and they're pulling stuff off.
Given
of
our dinner last night and our breakfast this morning, I'm not sure we can judge.
Yeah.
Though I will take
And
the
then
time
the-
to use lay on hands on myself so I can recover from that combat.
yeah, what did it take you down to again?
17.
Yeah, wow, about half.
Yeah, a little better than half.
And can you recover to full?
Near enough that it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But you can see there's a stockpile of firewood. There's a fire circle. The fire had burned down, and they have rudimentary gear that they could use to maintain a camp right here.
but nothing,
There's also against the wall. There's their latrine area, so the whole area here is pretty nasty.
nothing super valuable.
No, nothing like that here.
Gotcha.
And then moving on.
You said it only looked like a camp for 2, so there wouldn't be any reason why we'd suspect there'd be people nearby.
That is true, unless
I do want to take a
Well-
moment just to
check?
perceive.
Let's
Just
keep an eye on
listen.
your
Yeah,
ear.
sure,
Yeah.
Jacob. It's a good idea.
10.
Well, I'm gonna help.
I
I'm
will
gonna
too.
also listen.
So initially, Jacob, it's up in the air
8.
because it does sound as though other bugbears come back here and others swap out. So
Mhm.
there's more tracks than just that. But the amount of gear and food stuff, and picturing the size of these creatures, you're thinking, yeah, it's probably just 2, and maybe they're on like a 2 to 3 day rotation.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, and you would confirm that too, that you wouldn't think more than
I
2 pillars.
confirm.
Doctor, do you concur?
I support your hypothesis.
Now, from this distance, we're getting to about a third of a mile left to go.
Mhm.
You probably can see the very end of this tunnel. You can see the open little, D shape, upside down U shape at the
Mhm.
far end in the darkness in that direction, and it looks like it's unimpeded, and you can now see
And a
the other end
huge
of the tunnel.
scaly
Oh,
foot
yeah.
sits down outside it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Godzilla rolling its.
Kind of like wanting to move a little bit quicker, not in an outright run, just going like, light, fresh air, moving in that direction.
That sounds nice, yeah. So you're moving in that direction.
Pep in my step.
Right, Jacob, you're walking, not fast, not running. Of course, you're still very attentive, but yeah, seeing that daylight and feeling that air, even from that distance, about a third of a mile, you are walking with a little more purpose. And so you walk that last third or so of a mile. The tunnel, of course, the mouth opening is larger and larger. You're seeing trees beyond it. Your light, your eye trying to adjust. But then coming down from that control chamber stairway, where the other end of the tunnel had that fortification and that structure, you can see there are more bugbears. And 3 of them walk down into the tunnelway. They must have heard your battle, and they're waiting for you to approach them. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Empire's Edge. You can now also listen on YouTube. If you'd like to learn more about the characters and background, go to mattsinkovich.com or theempires.edge.com. Support the podcast on subscribestar.com/the-empires-edge.